Welcome to Box Wine Therapy, where the wine is cheap and the therapy's priceless.
We're two best friends, a couple of moms, and professional oversharers here to spill the wine and real life. I'm Kayla.
I'm Hannah.
Now let's get it started.
Welcome to Box Wine Therapy.
Today we're talking motherhood and mental health because I've had a few Menty bees.
As have I.
Recently, I decided to go back on Zoloft, and I think that was a much needed, for a long time coming sort of thing. I mean, I was on Zoloft before, way back whenever I had all my chronic health issues, and it was like I just couldn't deal with them anymore, you know what I mean? So I had tried Zoloft way back then, and then I went on, what's the one you're on? Lexapro, because Zoloft wasn't working anymore. And then I weaned off of Lexapro, and that was the worst, so don't ever get off of it.
I don't plan on it. I'm still pretty crazy. So.
But anyway, I got off of that like a month before I got pregnant with Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of my pregnancy with Maddie, I just always felt like I had that background anxiety, but I felt like overall I could kind of manage it. I guess I was really trying to manage it through lifestyle things, because I know that exercise and all of that, stress management techniques, whatever, all of that helps if you do it. And so I just was never consistent enough with
But
everything.
also, here's the thing about feeling depressed and anxious.
You don't want to do
You don't want to do it.
Yeah. So
anyone
then
who's
it's like,
oh, you're depressed or you have anxiety. You should really work out more.
right, it's so hard
Shouldn't
to
I?
get yourself to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, throw motherhood on top of it too, or just pregnancy in general, and then chronic health issues too. So I was on Zoloft again the end of that pregnancy, and then through postpartum. I don't even remember how long, but then I weaned myself off of it again, just because I was like, I just don't want to be taking any sort of medication. And then, woof, it was just like, now after getting pregnant again, well, so what happened since then? I had my chronic health flared up even more. I had to have Barbie butt surgery. And then it just seems like all these little life stress things. I remember taking a quiz back when I worked in cardiac rehab, like 15 years ago.
When she was a doctor.
Oh my God, it actually was almost that long ago. I wasn't a doctor, by the way. She just always liked to say that.
She's so smart. She could be.
Ugh, nope. Couldn't take that stress.
She's like, do you know how much I have to be on for that?
Overdose, please. No. But I remember we would give a quiz to all the incoming cardiac patients who had to rate like different life events that were happening, whether you had a move or a marriage or a change in relationship, so maybe a breakup. It was like all these things, and those are the big whammies to really add stress to your life. And I remember when I saw a therapist around that time, he was like, so what happens literally in your body physiologically, mine, because they did some testing and my cortisol levels were tanked. I thought my cortisol would have been through the roof.
Yeah.
But he said, no, it's drained. So I was constantly in fight or flight mode, to where, like, you know, when you see a deer and you're driving and you go like, ah, and then it comes back down. Mine was like, ah, and I just stayed there.
Yeah.
And so I started realizing that I was feeling that again for any little thing throughout the day. And like, I've had a lot of stressful life things happen, especially in the last few months here. And like, it all kind of accumulates. But then when it trickles into, you know, your kid just asking for something for the third time, and you're like, I already said yes.
And then
It's like,
crying about it.
yeah.
Like,
And then like, oh, yeah, it's a bit much. And Hannah had said a few times, like,
this is where it's important to check in on your friends.
yeah,
I
she's
noticed a few comments of like,
do you think?
I've been crying a lot lately, or I was crying again today, or this made me cry today, or I've been so angry I can't stand anybody.
Or like, I can't stand myself.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was maybe the tipping point where you said,
Well,
maybe it was after
and
that?
you had said you spent 3 days crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, so? I know.
Of something I can't control.
Right. And I was like, I know that you really do have stressful things going on. Yes. However, if your only option of getting through them is bawling your eyes out or yelling at people, maybe have you thought about getting back on something to help?
And there was that one day where I don't remember if you text me or call me or something, and I had said, I just can't even talk to anybody
Oh,
today.
yeah, I was like, "Hey, do you wanna talk today?" And
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, I'll call you when I'm out of the bath," and I'm like, "Don't." I was like, "Honestly, I
yeah,
can't
she's
even
like,
stand to be around myself." I cannot talk because I'm so irritated and angry, and that was the day that I wrote my doctor and I said, "Okay,
"We're
I'm
off."
ready." And it was just in a few hours, she had my prescription sent to the doctor, and we're back on. So, that was
So,
good.
yay,
Yeah.
and listen, you, personally, you out there can be like, "Oh, nope, I am not getting on anything for my anxiety or depression because that's a crutch you need the rest of your life." Good for you.
Yeah.
You go. You go, boo boo. But, that ain't most people,
And
and
it's really, it comes down to the brain chemistry
yeah,
too. It's like a chemical thing that's an
it's not a,
imbalance.
like, you just don't have the willpower,
Mhm.
or if you were just a stronger person, you could
Yeah.
get through that.
I
Like,
tried.
that's the thing about anxiety that most people don't understand is, like, we realize the shit that's coming out of our mouth and in our brains is crazy.
Yeah.
We understand how irrational all this stuff sounds,
Yep.
or that we are stressing about the things we cannot control and will never have control over doesn't make us stop.
Yeah.
And then if it gets to the point where you are spiraling,
Yeah, that's what it was. I was spiraling a lot.
my
Mhm.
um my big thing, which before we get to that, so proud of Kayla for making the choice to get back on and redo it. And then also, she warned me when I got on it that week 3, for anybody out there who's about to start something, and also just because your doctor puts you on something doesn't mean it's the end all be all. If you
And
don't
it also doesn't usually work right away. For me, I'm very sensitive to medication, and so I felt a difference that night, which is not normal for this
yeah,
medication anyway.
yeah. And with it, so they say stay on it for 4 weeks, and at 4 weeks, you'll know if you like that medicine or not. Um, and so it's important to know if at 4 weeks you're like, "Gosh, I just feel tired all the time. I don't feel whatever." Like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you can ask your doctor to switch it to something else. There's so many medications out
Mhm.
there that you just might not be on the one for you. Mine, I don't feel tired. I don't feel weird. I don't feel like I'm not myself. Like, I feel 100% myself. I just don't spiral as much.
Mhm.
Like, I might have some negative thoughts, but they aren't consuming me. And that's a big thing is if your thoughts and your emotions are consuming
Yeah.
your everyday life and you feel like you're spending more time focused on those than normal people are,
Mhm.
then maybe it's time to ask your doctor about something. And then Kayla's the one who told me, okay, just so you know, week 3 out of 4 is the worst week.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she was like, "If you think you're spiraling now, you wait till week 3, and you will think, like, you are having the worst week of your entire life with how bad this is, but then all of a sudden you hit week 4 and boom, turns a corner." I was like, "Okay, we'll see," and she was not lying. Holy moly, week 3 for me, so my thing was postpartum anxiety, which I realize now I also have had just anxiety my whole life, and
Mhm.
I had very much partum anxiety, whatever you call that, like, while I was pregnant.
All part.
All
Oh,
partum.
yeah.
All partum. I just had full-blown anxiety.
Yeah.
I had suffered multiple miscarriages and things like that, and so to me, it was like, "Okay, I just gotta make it to this next point, then I'm hitting this next milestone for baby." Like, my brain just worst case scenario at all times.
Mhm.
So I was constantly scared. Then I had my baby, and I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything because if I took the chance to sleep, what if my baby died?
Yeah,
Like,
yours was very catastrophic
ooh.
feeling all the time.
All the time. Like, and they say, "Oh, you have the baby blues." Well, I cried every single day, 2 to 3 times a day for the first month, and then it went down to, like, probably 4 times a week, 5 times a week, but it was like that all the way till 4 months postpartum,
Yeah.
and then I realized when I was talking to a bunch of mom friends, and I was like, I mean, we all picture car accidents, right? And we're all just terrified that our kids are gonna die at any moment, and it's, like, from things we can't control, and they're like, "No." "What?" I was like, "You're not? Like, you sleep at night?" I was like, "'Cause I can't sleep. Because if I slept good, then that would be the night I didn't hear her stop breathing." And they're like, "Hannah, that's not normal."
Mm-mm.
And I was like, "Really?" So then I messaged my doctor and I said, "Hey, I was talking to some friends this week, and they said what I'm feeling is not normal, but I felt like this the whole time." And she said, "I wish you would have told me this while you were pregnant, because I could have put you on something to help before you had the baby." I said, "Yeah, well, I thought that was normal too."
It's funny that it doesn't always come up in doctor appointment things. I mean, maybe it does. Well, my doctor actually, the last appointment that I had with her and the previous one, Now, actually, I feel like she's really good at asking. Now that I'm thinking about it, my doctor is really good at asking at each appointment, like, my OB, throughout this pregnancy, like, "How you doing?" Because she knew the last time, I had to get on it midway through, and I was like, "Oh, it's fine," and then it just was till it wasn't. And then I have, like, high blood pressure issues, but only, like, the first measurement that they take, and I swear it's because they talk to me all down the hallway, and then you sit there, and while they're taking it, they're asking me questions.
Kayla knows you're not supposed to talk to me while
Yeah,
you're
you're supposed to be 5 minutes resting and just, like, don't talk to me. So, anyway, mine is always very high, like 140s over 90s, and then they're, like, concerned about it, and I'm like, "You just got me excited." And then
you're
said,
easily excitable.
"Just wait," and recheck it, and then it's, like, 120s over 80s, so I'm like, "It's fine," but it's not 'cause I think that was probably hopefully it's anxiety doing that too,
Yeah,
but we'll see.
at your next appointment
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah, I have. Oh, well, and so that's another thing too.
Add
Something
to it.
to add to the stress. So my anatomy scan was at my last OB appointment, and so baby's measuring a little bit small. They have like the percentile chart thing, which is kind of crazy because my app says he should be at that time he should have been about 16 ounces, and he was like 15.1, but that bumped him all the way down into the 11th percentile, and so they were like, we get nervous when they're 10% and under, but he's right on the cusp there, so we're gonna send you to maternal fetal medicine, just like last time when I had Maddie, which last time it was because I had ulcerative colitis, and you typically can have smaller babies at that point, or because of the chronic inflammation in your body and all of that. So I thought this time around, I'm like, "Well, I don't have ulcerative colitis anymore because I literally don't have a large intestine or rectum or anything that could be active disease on." So I
Mhm.
was like, "Huh, probably won't have to see the special scan doctor anymore and not have to." So
It'll be fine.
my doctor did say, she was like, because because he's at the 11th percentile, they may be like, "Oh, this is wild that she's even referred to us." But it is a good way to get another scan to see if he's growing at the right rate. And then hopefully I'll only have to have this scan and he's growing at the right rate. And then I won't have to go for more scans. Like, as much as I love to have the extra ultrasounds, it's a to-do because you can't bring your toddler,
Yeah,
and it's another copay.
yeah,
I just don't wanna pay it.
and it's another stressor if he's not
Yeah,
doing
exactly. I'm
what he's
like,
supposed to.
sometimes ignorance is bliss. I
See,
didn't know.
that's the way Kayla lives her life is like,
Yeah.
if I don't gotta know,
I'm
I
in
don't
a
want to.
little bubble. I don't care what's going on outside of it, and,
That's how Kayla lives her life.
yep.
I am envious of that.
Well, and so that's a thing too, like, so with the anxiety that I experience is all related to real life things that have happened to me before, so I guess more of like a PTSD almost. Like, that's what I worry about is history repeating itself, and so I fixate on things that have already gone wrong, and so it's like, if that's gonna happen again, well, and so anyway.
Which is funny because, again, we're opposites, and
Yeah.
mine is completely the future
Mhm.
that will hopefully never happen. Like, mine
Yeah.
mine is very much around, like, death and catastrophic things. It's called catastrophizing. So, like, if Rusty has something going on one night in another town and he won't be home till 10:30, I can't go to bed until 10:30 because I need to know he got home safe. Like, if I fell asleep, that would be the one time he dies in a car accident
Gosh.
or, like, God forbid, something like that.
Mhm.
Or same with my kids. Like, there was one day, and I've been on meds, but it still doesn't stop you from having a bad day here or there. Or sometimes you need adjustments on those meds. Um, like if you are going through another stressful time. But there was one time even we were leaving his parents' house, which is 4 hours away. And it was when we thought Kayla was having Maddie the first time.
Oh, mhm.
And she was like, "I'm having labor pains, blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "I will drive home. Like, I want to be there." And it's a 4 hour drive. Well, as I'm like getting ready and I'm already stressing out because I'm like, oh, like now I know Rusty's going to be driving both kids. And what if they get in a car accident on the way
Oh,
home?
geez.
And for some reason, God has me living. Or what if I die in a car accident and they all live and then they live without a mom? Like, that is where my brain goes.
Mm.
And so then before leaving, Rusty tried to make some bad joke about like, "Oh, mom's leaving us, blah, blah, blah."
Ah.
And I started bawling and I'm, "Why would you say that?" And he was like, this is a joke." I was like, "It's not funny."
Oh.
And then I told him, I was like, "My brain thinks, why is this happening? Is it happening because one of us is going to live and the other doesn't?" And he's like, "That's not normal." I'm like, "I know."
And that's the hard part because we're both very intuitive too. So you're like, is this a nudge? Is this a
Is this,
warning
yeah.
sign?
Is this something that I'm like feeling scared of? Because my gut's telling me to be
Yeah.
scared. And that's the thing. When people are like, "Trust your gut." I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. Mine's full of anxiety.
And I don't have one anymore. So
Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, we can't trust our gut." No, 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 no. So yeah, when I told my doctor that, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Hannah. Yeah, you need meds."
yeah.
And then the week 3 thing, I saw a sign that was like, "Don't leave your babies in a hot car." Well, I can just tell you what I pictured in my brain the whole way to work that day.
Gosh.
I had to keep looking in my mirror, reminding myself, "Your babies are not in your car. Your baby is not in your car. Your baby is not in your car." And I had to like just keep telling myself that because in that week 3, my brain could not like,
Oh.
it was staying in that like fight or flight mode, like
Yeah.
fight mode, like, "Oh my gosh, like something bad is happening." And it was like, "Your child is at daycare. You already dropped her off. It is okay." And that's how my brain works. So
Mhm.
catastrophizing is not fun either.
Yeah.
But there's many different forms of anxiety. And as you can see, that's why one medicine works well for
Yeah.
me and not for her,
Yeah.
and vice versa. It's worth talking to your doctor about. Some postpartum blues is normal if it feels like it's consuming your life in any way, shape, or form,
Yep.
whether you have kids or not. Talk to a doctor.
Yep.
Just ask.
And it's not like, you know, again, yeah, like it's not a one size fits all. Maybe they'll say, oh, try therapy first or whatever. Try
And maybe for some
whatever.
postpartum people, it is like oh, you just need to be on it for the first year and then you can get off.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what I realized is I can sleep finally.
Mm,
Like my whole
can you?
life, yeah, my whole life I've never been able to sleep well. Granted, I still need a melatonin to fall
Yeah.
asleep, but I don't I don't lay there like before with my um what's that word?
Insomnia.
Yes, thank
Mhm.
you. You nailed it.
Yeah.
Before with my insomnia, it was like 4 nights a week where if I wasn't asleep by a certain time, my brain would immediately be like, "Oh god, you're not asleep yet. You're not asleep yet. So that means tonight you're only getting 5 hours of sleep. And if you don't fall asleep right now, then that means you're going to get 4 hours of sleep. And then before you know it, it's 4 a.m. and I'm still awake and I haven't fallen asleep. And my brain is like doing that the whole time. Where it's like
Yeah.
like anything you could think of. Things that don't matter, things that once mattered, things like my brain is on it. Something 10 years from now, I planned it. Like I could never shut it off.
Yeah.
And what was so nuts to me was once I got on my anxiety meds, I don't have that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I maybe have that once every, like, 3 weeks or 4 weeks that I have a night where and normally now when that happens, I can just be like, "Rusty, you need to come in here and lay by me." And then as long as I'm, like, touching him, I can, like, calm down and I can fall
Hmm.
asleep. But before it was like nothing mattered. It didn't
Yeah.
matter who was touching me, what, like, there
Yeah.
was no sleeping.
Ugh.
And then I would just go 24 hours without sleep, and then the next night have anxiety again. That what if it happens again? And now I'm not sleeping again 2 nights in a row.
That's awful.
Yeah. So,
I have a lot of insomnia throughout pregnancy, and actually it has gotten better since the anxiety med has kicked in, so that I don't just lay there for hours or get up and do something because I'm like, well, may as well.
oh,
But
that's
it's weird because I feel rested no matter what. But I've had to get up multiple times a night for
yeah,
my
with your
ostomy
bag.
bag anyway. So, like, the frequently waking up and then having to be awake for a little stretch doesn't
That
bother my system
yeah,
as
that's
much. I
normal for her
haven't
now.
had a solid 6 hours in a row of sleep
Since our
in
girls' night.
5 years.
Other than our girls' night. What was that, 5 or 6?
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Because she got up at 5:30 in the morning when we didn't go to bed till 11:30.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Because it was the most.
I said, "Kayla, why did you get up?" She's like, "I was rested."
Yep.
She goes,
That's all I
"Hannah,
need.
I've never had 6 hours of sleep in 5 years." And I was like, "Oh."
Not in a row like that, and
Yeah.
that felt like a vacation, which it was.
And she's funny because if she wakes up and she can't go back to sleep, she's like, "Well, I went out in the kitchen and started cleaning or I organized I'm like, "Just lay
There's
down."
always something to do, and it's better than scrolling on your phone because then it's a blue light in your face, or even if you have night mode, it's an electronic, so I try to not do that, and I would like to read, but, you can't always turn the light on, except Keith got me the best Christmas present, which is like a little book light. It's a clip, and then it's got this little light
Oh, so it
that
only
just
goes
illuminates your book.
Oh, that's
Because
perfect.
I love
She's not a Kindle
actual,
person.
yeah, I've
She's a
never had
paper girly.
one. I just need the paperback. I love it.
I really hate the feel of paper books.
So
I don't like that paper.
I don't like the smell of an old book from a library.
I don't
I
like
like getting my library
the
books, but
crunchy
I think
paper.
of
I
like,
like shiny paper.
oh yeah,
Like kids' books I can do.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like if it's yellowy pages, you know it smells, and I don't want to smell that.
I know exactly. Oh my
And I'm
God,
like,
it
who
gives me the
touched it?
creeps.
Did you wash your hands? Did you have a cold
That's what
reading
I
this?
think about with library books.
Mhm.
I'm like, the amount of times I've seen my kids pick their nose and touch
Yes.
something, and then, adults do it.
Ooh.
So there's creepy little adults picking their nose and
There probably is one.
turning the page. So,
That's why I don't check out the kid library
oh,
books.
sick.
Yeah, I just can't get myself to do it. I'm like, we
'Cause
just don't even look at those books.
how could you clean it all?
I know,
You
you
can clean
can't.
the front and back, but
Yeah,
not the pages.
I know.
Ugh.
No, thank you.
I saw a video the other day on TikTok, and it was this librarian cleaning kids' books at an elementary school, and I was like, she's
At
like,
least you do it.
she goes, this took 3 wipes, and I was like,
That's gross.
so sick.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't like that. So another part of this whole new year. Okay, so we're into astrology, into all the things. I found a couple accounts on Instagram who do weekly tarot card readings, where there's this one guy, Chris Corsini, who does like a monthly horoscope tarot card reading thing, and I really like his. But I've also been doing these weekly ones too, and I'm like, they're so spot on for me lately, and I just love that. And there's all about the whole like lunar new year, where it's also
like the new moon.
then yeah, there's so much newness, and so because it's 2026, it's also
Is the like Chinese New Year.
yeah,
You're
the
talking.
Chinese New
I
Year
was gonna say
starts
they
like,
just were learning about that at daycare.
Is that this week or last
at
week?
preschool. Last week, I think.
Today's Sunday. Yeah, last week. That's what it was. That's why I was like staring at you. 'Cause I'm like, I can't
Yeah, the
remember
year.
when I saw
What is it?
on-
The year of the horse this year or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all about new beginnings, which is really exciting, and about how like last year was the year of the snake. So it was a lot of like shedding all the old stuff, anything that you wanted to just like get rid of in your life. It was kind of like a purge. It was the last chapter of that, and now it's like new. And I feel that so much deep in my bones. I just feel like I'm becoming a new version of myself and not caring as much about the other
You
things.
are becoming a new version.
I'm a baby mama of 2. But no, but it's exciting because I feel like as much as we're on social media with this now,
Yeah.
I'm not really on it as much. And that was a really important thing that I needed, is to kind of like step back from doing all the social media stuff.
You were trying to give so much of yourself to the
Yeah.
outside world.
And I just wanted to get it back to being fun again, if I was going to at all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I feel like I finally reached that point, which is good. But also in that, I started getting a little bit more spiritual as far as like religion goes. So, Hannah and I went to church together
Growing up.
back in not starting middle school, but like we went to the same church starting in middle school because I was going to a different one.
Yeah, I was gonna
before
say
then.
you went to a different one before because
Yeah.
I went to Cambridge Lutheran my whole life.
Yeah, I started off at the Baptist one
Yeah.
because my grandpa was Baptist, grandma Lutheran, and so
Yeah.
started at one, went to the other. Anyway, then I don't know, throughout college I would go a little bit to church, but it just kind of like fell off. I've always believed in God and had a relationship personally, but it was like I just never reached out and like found the right place or gave it much effort, I guess. But I don't know, like something recently, I've just had these little nudges to like dive a little bit deeper into it. And so I got this devotional, a daily devotional from Joyce Meyer, and she has a million of them. So I just really connected with it. And I feel like that's been an exciting part of the new me too, to just kind of grow that relationship a little bit more.
It was cute because she was telling, she's like, oh, I got this daily devotional. And then one day she was talking about all the things that were stressing her out. And she's like, oh, and guess what? Yesterday, my devotional said, like, about like having hope and this and this. And then today's was about reaping what you sow and this is that. And then the next one, she goes, it is just crazy. It is like everything I need to hear that day is in the devotional.
Yeah.
And I said, God. I said,
Yeah.
isn't that crazy? I was like, cool, right?
It is so cool. And then,
And she got a new Bible.
yeah, because I was talking with my grandma about it, and she got a new Bible for herself too, and she has her devotional that she's been cracking open again. So it's just kind of fun to like see how it's just all evolving around.
And like one thing Kayla said before that I feel like many people probably feel this way. She's like, well, I don't have Bible verses memorized. I don't have,
I don't know the stories of the Bible that well, so I was like,
she's like, I can't go to church. And I'm like,
yeah,
Kayla, not everybody knows that stuff. Like, that's why you go to church to learn. It was funny because today I watched church from home because I can't sit in the chair yet for
yeah.
that long. So I watched it from home. They all went to church. And one of the things I love that our pastor says is, he's like, we're a church full of imperfect people
Mhm.
that worship the perfect one. That's all. And so today he was like, listen, you guys, we are all sinners. We can't just think, oh, I don't need to be baptized. I don't need God because
Mhm.
my sinning's not that bad. He's like, no, hate to break it to you, we're all sinners. So, one thing I always tell people, if you're looking for a new church and you think, wow, I found a perfect church of perfect people, you better not go. You're going to screw it up. He's like, you will be the person to ruin it. Don't do it. And because
That's funny.
you shouldn't find a perfect church of perfect people,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
we're all imperfect. We're all just doing our best, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so I like that saying. But yeah, I'm like, no, you don't have to be perfect to go to church. You don't have to know everything to go to church. You don't have to know the stories to go to church. Like, it's all about just opening your heart and wanting to learn more and getting to a point of that. So
And what's nice too, like you gave good advice, watch them online
yeah,
because there are so many of them that have their stuff online. I still haven't done that yet.
that's
But
fine.
I said, it's baby steps. And this is the way
It's
that I'm
your
kind of developing.
relationship.
Exactly. And so I've gone to your church a couple times now, and I do like that one a lot. And what's really interesting too is so Keith's not really wanting to go to church himself. He's just like, I don't know,
He's in a
he's got
different
the
spot in
same.
his relationship right
Yeah,
now.
and I told him, like, "That's totally fine, and I'm not trying to push him to." So, even though, like, you and Rusty go to church together, I told him, like, "This is something that I just feel in myself that I wanna do."
And you're ready for it.
Yeah, and whether or not I do end up going to a church or just I'm an online watcher, like, I feel like that'll be something I do on my own, and I don't care.
But I've moved a lot, and with that and
Mhm.
with Rusty and stuff, especially when we moved to where we are now, we decided to start watching churches online, and I was super duper pregnant when we moved here, and I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
you were.
"I'm not having a baby at a brand new church where I know nobody.
Yeah.
Mm-mm." Like, that would be my luck.
Yeah.
And so we watched church online, and we would decide from there, like, "Oh, this pastor's boring us," or, "We
Mhm.
don't like how this one,"
Is preachy too much, like,
like,
I
their own
like.
opinions instead
Yeah.
of the Bible type
Yeah.
thing.
I like when they relate it to real life, like present day
Yeah.
life a lot more.
And that's it. Some people just, like, literally read from the pages
Mhm.
and don't give you any context, but a good pastor to me is somebody who can give you context as to, like, this is how this relates to life now
Yeah.
and how you can take this and run with it. So it was important for us to try to see what we liked and what we didn't like, or like, we just don't vibe with this one. We don't like this one's message. And then we found our church and we watched it online. It was an older guy. And then the day we went in person after we had Lemmy, he retired. We were like, of course.
Great.
But we have a great pastor now. He grew up with Rusty in his hometown. So
That's
he's
good.
young. He's got a young family. I really, really like them.
Mhm.
He's somebody that I want to message him and be like, Pastor Adam, can I come in and sit down with you for an hour
Mm,
and ask all sorts of life questions as pertaining to the Bible and religion? That you are somebody I would feel confident, not confident, but I would feel like he wouldn't just look at me and be like, you're an idiot.
right.
Or like, how dare you ask that? Why are you questioning God? It's like, it's not about questioning God for me. It's about, they say, ask questions, dive deeper, delve deeper, but don't lack your faith in the
Mhm.
process. And I have the faith, but I've always just been like a why person.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
why? Why is this way?
And I think that's why I retreated for a while, like, after college and stuff. It was just like, I don't know, some things just don't make sense, and
Like,
so I just, like, tunnel vision,
and when
I'm
people
gonna
say
ignore it.
just because,
Yeah, I don't like
I
that
don't like that
answer.
answer.
Yeah.
No. Like, and you can say, like, and that's one thing I like is while we had one of our parenting classes, he said, my daughters, they ask questions all the time. I have little girls. He's like, they're always asking me questions. Sometimes they ask really intense, cool questions that I would not have thought they could come up
Mm,
with about religion. And I just look at them like, I don't know. I don't know that.
Yeah.
And I said, I accept that.
Yeah.
I accept that answer
Yep.
to not know, but don't just tell me like it is the way they say it is and it's black and white and that's that.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to have a conversation, even if it's I'm in the wrong for my viewpoint on something or whatever, and that's how he sees things. I'm cool with that. I like having conversations and to learn more
Yeah.
about things. And that's one thing Rusty and I, we used to get in big arguments about religion because he grew up very black and white, Southern Bible Belt.
Mhm.
You know, it is what it is. And I grew up a little more gray area. He grew up Southern Baptist. I grew up in the North, a Lutheran.
Mhm.
And, you know, we would have these conversations. And there was one night my mom was here and we were all discussing some big topics. And we're not going to get into them here, but going back and forth on them. And Rusty and I get very heated and our voices elevate. And so we were not yelling at each other, but it was loud. And we were having these conversations and whatever. And then we decided to like, okay, that was good. We got done. And we got done with our conversation. He walked up and kissed me. He said, I'm so glad that we have a relationship where we can openly have discussions about these things. He's like, that makes me feel really good. I love you. Good night. And he gave me a kiss and we went to bed. And I was like, okay, good. I wasn't sure it was going to go that way during the heated debate, but you know, like I like to talk about these things and see what other people's viewpoints are, and so I want to sit down with my pastor and have that, and I think I'm going to reach out to him soon.
He'd probably be open to it.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't think he'd be judgy about it at all. I think
Yeah.
he'd be like, no, I appreciate you coming to me with these questions.
Yeah.
Rather than just trying to be like, well, I believe this and that's that.
Yeah.
So, and side note on all of this, and I guess a good way to wrap this is guess what we've decided?
For our mental health, we are going to go to every other week with
Yay!
the podcast. And I'm so thrilled. Back when, what was it? There was one episode that we did before our little break, and I had texted Hannah right before it, and that because I was just.
She was having a day.
It was a day, a Menty B day, but also it was in the whole like, I'm getting off social media and I needed a big break. And so I said, why don't we just wait until
she's like, let's cut this for like 3 months and then come back. And I said,
I was like, let's have a mid, I don't even know what I called it, but I was like, we need to just not do it until after you're fully healed from surgery. And
I was like, dude,
because I was like,
we are just picking up speed here with like finally getting followers and doing these things. I was like, Kayla, we can't just shut it off now.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow.
I know. I was like, I was burnt out, which is so silly because I don't do that much for it, but it wasn't even just this. It was the culmination of all social media. And so I felt like I just have to burn it all to the ground.
She is an all or nothing person. And I know that about her well because 2 weeks before on our podcast episode was the one where she was like, yeah, and we aren't giving up even at a year because at that point it's a habit and blah, blah, blah. And then 2 weeks later was when she was like, that's it. I want to be done. Let's cancel this.
I was like, I'm done.
I was like, Kayla, breathe. We'll talk about this later.
So I'm a little stiff on that podcast because I'm just like, she didn't let me quit.
And it's the one where her kids like crawling all over her and wouldn't go to bed.
Yeah,
it was just a night, you know. It was a bad night, but
now I'm really happy because we have come to this part where we were able to do the batch creation, and that felt so good.
That felt so good.
Oh, to like do that and then have like, I wouldn't call it like a break in between, but like kind of.
Yeah.
And so we just realized that, you know, like Hannah was saying last week or whenever we talked about it.
Yeah, I text her.
Quality over quantity is where it's at. And I'm so thrilled.
There are some times, I know you can't tell, but there are some times where like we're having a shitty day at home, like toddlers, husbands, either we just got in a little like bickering match with them and then we have to go do this. And then it's like to go from bickering match, yelling with your kids, all this stuff to then, hi, everybody. Like,
yeah. And not like we're faking it.
We're not trying to.
You have to.
We want to at least
not
put on
show that side.
A good face. Like nobody wants to listen to us be sour pussies 24/7. So every once in a while there are days where it's like, I would love to not film today, but we have no other day to get this done. And this is the only time we can do it. So suck it up, buttercup. Here we go.
Yep.
And I was thinking about it too, because I had a night the other night, which obviously I know I'm not in a mental health space to be like, oh, life's perfect peachy rainbows. Like I understand. I'm not somebody who needs to just make rash decisions. Like that's it. We're canceling. But I was laying there and I was like, God, like what's it all for? You know, and because I was seeing more and more about like Miss Rachel getting death threats online. And I've seen like 3 other influencers that I follow that are like, listen,
Like, they're just like,
I'm done.
"Done.
Yeah.
It's
It's
too
too
much."
much. Yeah, I don't wanna keep up and, like, we want the influencer money without having to live the
Yeah.
influencer life, which
Or
is
we don't want the influencer scrutiny.
yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
don't need it.
Or, like, the demanding of have to
Yeah, have
of
to post
things.
this, have to do this, have to do
Yeah.
this, and that's where it was we were kind of finding the balance, but also fighting the balance,
Mhm.
and then it got to the point where, like I said, I was just laying there that night, and I was like, "What is this all for?" Because I swear to God, if somebody starts threatening my family, like, not
Mhm.
gonna happen. And the fact that people are all keyboard warriors and whatever,
Mhm.
like, I'm cool as long as we keep a good, healthy group of people. So y'all be healthy. Get on the mental health meds. Don't have a mentee B because we can't deal with that. We all need to be nice here. I'm cool with that. But what happens if we get to the point where people are psychos? Like, I don't want that life.
Yeah.
And so I was just laying there like, well, then why are we doing this? And I thought, we are doing this for a passion project for us to get to like sit and share things. We don't want it to feel like we're pulling teeth. And
Yeah.
there are some times when we're trying to do these weekly episodes where it's like, I don't have much. Do
Yeah.
you? Like, no.
Yeah.
And we don't want it to seem like that to you guys either. So that's why for us, I text Kayla. I was like, I have a feeling you're going to be good with this. I was like, you're going to have a baby soon.
Yeah.
You're going to have even more demand on you. Life in general is just getting busier for both of us.
Yep.
We have so much stuff. And then summer is busy
Yeah.
nonstop
Mhm.
for both of us. I said, how about we cut down to every other week? That way, if we even get together on a Sunday and say we do
Mhm.
2 episodes, our whole month is taken
I
care of.
know. And what a breath of fresh air.
And then we're doing it because we're excited to get together and
Yep.
talk about it. Not like, I just had the shittiest day and now I got to put on this
Yeah.
smile and chug a coffee just so I can like
Yep.
be on for you guys. Like, we love you, but there are days where we just don't feel it.
Yep. And
So,
I'm so excited. It honestly, that's like what reignited it
yeah.
for me too, where I was like, how about we talk about mental health?
Yeah.
Because that actually really helped.
Yeah. uh, yeah. So, yeah.
Sounds, yeah. So it is good. I'm so happy with that decision. And I think everyone else will be too.
Yeah. So that's where we're at with that. We'll
Yeah.
post a little reminder for you guys to let you know that, well, this one will be, well, we'll post it before this, I guess,
Hmm.
because,
Oh, yeah. Right.
yeah,
So
because this one
then
will
you'll
be
know.
in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So we'll make sure to let you know, but we're really happy with that decision for now. If we get to a point, maybe next fall, winter, we're bored and we're like, let's go back.
Hmm.
I don't think we
If
will.
we have enough
Yeah.
to talk. I mean,
Yeah.
not that we don't have enough to talk about, but excuse me,
Say
you know.
something changed, it went to whatever, like, who
Well,
knows?
gosh, if we have that much to give you, you know.
We'll give it. And
Yeah.
that's why I said too, I said, it's not to say we can't do a bonus episode
Yeah.
here or there.
Right.
Like, hey, we had a lot going on this week we want to tell you about. Great.
Yep.
But for the most part, I think we're both going to be much happier going down to it because 2 kids for both of us and trying to do normal life and then find time to give you guys the bright sides of ourselves. And we're going to bitch here and there. Obviously, we always do. But we like, we like it to be mostly a bright side. And we want this, as we've said, our goal for this podcast is to be a glass of wine with you or a cup of
Mhm.
coffee in the morning on your way to work. And we don't want to ruin your day to start it.
Yeah.
So on that note about mental health,
Yeah.
take care of yourself, bitches.
Yeah, that's right. Well, from our chaos to yours.
Remember, you're doing better than you think you are, and you're probably funnier too.
Bye.
Bye.